Hey, so first I want to start off this video by saying thank you to all the people that reach out to me on Instagram after seeing my original video on the thought broadcasting delusion, schizophrenics or wizards, I think I called it, because it helps me when other people ask me for help, whether they just want advice or something like just awareness into what the whole thought broadcasting thing is regarding synchronicities and magic, I guess. But like I said, it just makes me feel good knowing that I can help other people and give clarity and help shed their fears and things like that. So the point of this video is to talk further about it. So, what's the first thing I want to say? First of all, I'll say this first, is that there's a very, very high chance that the people that you think are hearing your thoughts are not hearing your thoughts. Now, do some reality testing and just tell yourself, like, have I ever heard somebody else's thought before? Because there's a very high chance you've never heard anyone else's thought before, but you're still aware that there are other people out in the world, very few in numbers, but they are paranoid that they think everybody is hearing their thoughts. But you can't hear their thoughts. I can't hear their thoughts. So just using that reality testing, we can see that this is a delusion. Now, something else I want to mention is that there is a psychic ability called telepathy. And I'm pretty sure I've actually come into contact with people who do have this ability. It's not always spoken about because I feel like they don't want to tell everyone that they can hear thoughts, but these people are very compassionate, like an angel. And the only reason why they have this ability is because they actually saw the brighter side of life. Like, they saw that living life with some kind of purpose in mind towards something good and true and of light, that is the most worthwhile thing to be doing, to be helping others and spreading happiness, love, joy, peace, kindness, to be spreading these things, and to be doing your own inner healing work, like shadow healing or light work, to be just bettering yourself, healing your traumas and things like that, your fears, anxieties, sadness, whatever it is, anger. Because when you heal that and you set the intention of awakening spiritually, usually these gifts do come. But like I said, they're very, very few in numbers, and you're most likely not going to come into contact with them. So, just don't even worry if people are hearing your thoughts, because then not everybody is hearing your thoughts. Now, something else I wanted to mention is the reason why this is happening to you. Now, I don't know everything about this delusion. I have experienced it. The first time I experienced it was in 2013. It was a little more mild back then, but I was 19 years old and just going through a lot of shit like that. I didn't even know I was sick. I didn't get diagnosed till I was 21 in 2015 with schizophrenia, and it's changed off and on to schizoaffective and things like that. But so I have like many years of experience with this delusion. Now, this is what I personally believe about the thought broadcasting delusion, is that we experience these things for two reasons. Thought broadcasting delusion. We experience them because, one, we're spiritually awakening, so life seems like it's starting to get a little weird. You know what I'm talking about if you experience this. It's like, it seems magical. That's why schizophrenics tend to believe in magic, because there's no other explanation for the things that are happening that seem weird. And also because we have traumas and fears within us that we're hyper-focusing on. Now, I understand that sometimes like things like magic can kind of scare people, but what I want you to know is that it is possible to be aware of magic and all this and still be at peace. Just like to be peaceful and happy, just like in those moments when you were peaceful and happy before all this started happening. Because everybody's been feeling good at some point in their life. But you can feel that way, like genuinely good and feel safe and grounded, but still be experiencing some of the magical stuff. So, like I said, the reason why this is happening is because we're spiritually awakening. Life is getting a little weird, and we have these traumas. Now, it doesn't manifest, thought broadcasting doesn't manifest in everybody who has traumas and is waking up spiritually. It's just a few. Like I said, I don't know everything about it. I don't know why it happens to only a few people. But I know that it just happens to happen to certain people. So, if we weren't hyper-focusing on such negative things about ourselves, we wouldn't be experiencing these thought broadcasting delusions. And if you're somebody that's unfamiliar with thought broadcasting, it's basically where, say like you're walking down the block and you have an intrusive thought like, this guy looks like a fucking idiot. And then the guy, like there's a guy like maybe like 10 feet away from you. You have that intrusive thought. And then the guy actually turns around and gives you like a dirty look like, you talking to me? Like that kind of look. And this happens like not just once but frequently to people with this delusion. And that's why they believe everybody is hearing their thoughts, because it seems like it. Now, what's actually happening is that, like I said, you're waking up spiritually and you're hyper-focusing on negative things. They're the traumas within you. You have traumas and fears. So the way this manifests is synchronicity revolving around what your fear is. Because synchronicities are something that happens when you wake up spiritually. There's other things that can happen that are pretty magical, like having psychic visions or certain, what they call in Buddhism, siddhis, like magical powers. And they'll range in like different, like the intensity of what it is, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but like something I experience is I get like psychic visions sometimes, or I like hear a sound or a voice or music that relates to something that I'm thinking about. It can also be about something in the future that does happen, and it's happened before. Like I even used to do psychic oracle card readings at a crystal shop. I use oracle cards like these. And like even with the cards, aside from my own visions and things like that, I've gotten things right that were in the future that actually happened to certain people when I was doing readings for people. So, what was I saying? This is something that I still deal with, is forgetting what I was thinking about or saying about. Damn it. I think it was something about like we get these psychic messages, and a synchronicity is a form of a psychic message, because it's something that happens in reality that reflects what's going on in your mind or in your life, or potentially the future. These things happen when we awaken spiritually. But as I've said before, the reason why they come off so negatively in schizophrenics is because we're hyper-focusing on negative things. So, I'm still going through this process myself, but I have noticed a lot of healing, so I do know that this does work, for me at least. But I guarantee if you put in the work yourself, you would see results. But focus less on your weaknesses and insecurities and fears and things like that, and focus on your strengths. But even more than focusing on your strengths, there's two things that you should focus on. One is your life's purpose, or in the occult we call this your true will. And two is probably even more important than that, is focusing on God. Now you can call it God or the universe, the cosmic love, the oversoul, the Buddha mind, the Brahma. Um, there's like many different names for this entity, but there is a being that is overseeing all things, that is existence itself, plus beyond things that our minds can't understand. And that's why we are to be humbled by God, because we can't understand it. And we can't understand God. But through time, consistency, and prayer, we can change our realities, because although magic is nice, and I do believe schizophrenics are wizards and witches and magical beings, God is far more powerful than your own magic. So if you can develop a relationship, build a relationship with God, God will change things in your life. Like, I've found deep feelings of peace and bliss and happiness and all these good things and strength and faith just through developing a relationship with God. And part of what is included in that is proving to God that you care. And this can mean donating money to the poor, donating food to the poor, or to, like a homeless shelter or a nonprofit, or getting a volunteer job towards something positive. Do something with yourself at least once a week, consistently, preferably more than just once a week. I'd do stuff like this, like, for a while I was doing it every other day, but now I'm doing it every day, almost. Like donating food and money to the poor at a church. But do this consistently, and it proves to God that you do care. And just get real with yourself. Like, you can speak to God just being alone and just talking or thinking, just speaking to God. Even if you can't, like, hear what God is saying back to you, just be real with what you really want. Just say, please, like, help me with this schizophrenia, schizoaffective, with spirit attachments, or whatever it is that you're dealing with. Just keep saying it every single day. And just get into this, like, inner flow of, like, this inner honesty and realness. This genuine intention towards God about what you want. And you'll notice things will change. What else was I going to say? Yeah, another thing is, as I've said before, following your life's purpose. Like, people don't really understand that you can become anything you want in life. Like, it takes time, definitely, so be easy with yourself and know when it's the right time to really pursue these things. But if you want to be a famous scientist, or even just a humble teacher, or you want to be a rock star, or you want to be a politician, whatever it is you want to be, you can become. And we do that through developing a relationship with God and through our own magic, the combination of both. Now, I don't want to make this video about manifestation, because that's a whole nother topic, but, I had worked with, like, crystals and little witchcraft. But, yeah, it's all possible. And, my own manifestation discipline is, it's in support of what God's intentions are. Because I know that God is the real thing that's going to bring my reality to what I want it to be. And let it be something that's helping other people too. Because that's the best thing. I feel like there's something I wanted to mention, but I can't think of what it was. I was thinking about this before, but just be aware that um, the more I'll sum it up, I guess. Just know that the more like you develop a relationship with God and you do these acts of kindness and you really start to feel it, like you really start to be convinced in your head and in your heart and in your body, in your soul, that things are changing because it's possible. There really is a God and magic is real. And you can become anything you want in life. You can become healed. You can become whatever career you want. You can find love. It'll happen. Just know it. Just know that it will happen. Don't give up on that. And at times, in the beginning, you will fall back to like negativity and things like that. But just when you get to that state, pray. Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Just keep doing that. Something I like to do is I go to the church in my town, and I go during the week when no one's there. I don't really go to the mass services, but I go during the week when no one's there, and I donate the food and money, but I also take some time to just sit in the church and just absorb the energy and just talk to like Jesus and God. And sometimes I do get like emotional because I'm like I just think about like I just think about the good things and the bad things in my life and how stressful the bad things are and how grateful I am that God is working in my favor and has given me great things. But that's you got to this is why you got to get like real with yourself when you're alone and talking to God. Get as real as you can cuz God likes that. I kind of want to jump back to the thought broadcasting delusion. There was something else I wanted to mention about it, but I cannot think of what it freaking was. Well, I guess all you really need to know is you're waking up spiritually, and the reason why you're experiencing this is because of the traumas that you hold. And I'm just summing up what I said before, but just you're hyper focusing on the negatives. So just every time you start focusing on like, is this guy hearing my thoughts or um, these intrusive thoughts that come in, like don't think like this is who I really am or anything like that. Or if you do think like that, then let it go and pray and know that there is a God above you that is going to take care of you. You have to welcome God into your life and focus on your strengths. Focus on your life's purpose. Like you definitely are strong if you're dealing with this delusion because I know how stressful it is. It takes a strong person to deal with this. God gives his toughest missions to his strongest warriors. But you're just very vulnerable, and that's why like we kind of fall into these like thought flows of negativity. Oh yeah, that was something I wanted to mention before. Something that something about psychic messages is it's a message, so it can come from God, it can come from an angel, or it can come from an evil spirit. But I don't always like the word evil spirit because they are evil, but they're not like gonna kill you or anything like that. Because what would happen if they kill you? You would be at peace, and there would be nothing for them to feed on. What they're gonna do is try to stress you out. So they're gonna put thoughts in your head and messages and synchronicities that are going to stress you out because they like the feeling of you being stressed out. Now, what I can tell you about an evil spirit is that this is what an evil spirit is. An evil spirit is a 50-year-old man that lives in his mother's basement, that sits on his computer all day long, doesn't have a job, and doesn't want to do anything other than go on YouTube and put in nasty comments on people's videos that he doesn't like. And he thinks he's like this tough guy because he can get all creative with his negative message towards others, and it makes him feel good. That's what an evil spirit is. It's not anything you should be afraid of, because these spirits are afraid of themselves. They're afraid of the light that's going to shine on them when they're exposed. That's what they're afraid of. So if I've ever said in the past like anything about evil spirits, don't be afraid of them. They're really not like anything that scary. They're just gonna stress you out, but that's all they're gonna do. So yeah, what else? I'm sorry if this video came off as kind of like unorganized or like choppy or scattered, because I was thinking a lot about this before, because someone reached out to me today and I just realized how many people have reached out to me on Instagram because of that video. And I'm just very grateful that people kind of, I don't want to say look up to me, but like they go to me for advice because they know that I've dealt with these things for many years now. Well, they don't know that I've dealt with it for many years, but maybe I just come off as like very wise or knowledgeable on this topic. So yeah, it makes me feel very good that I can help other people, because it helps me too. Because if I can put a kind message into other people's Instagram DMs or whatever they call it, then God looks at me and he's like, Mike, you're doing something good. So it helps me. So yeah, just know that anything's possible and you'll get better in time. Just know that as long as I'm going to sum it up again because I want to really drill it in your head. Pray to God, whatever you want to call it, God, Brahma, the Oversoul. Pray to this being. Develop a relationship with him every single day. Him, God. Develop a relationship, talking and praying to God every day. Do something with your life that can support other people's happiness, or like donating food or money to the poor, or getting a volunteer job. Do something to prove to God that you care and you really want to see your life change. And also follow your life's purpose, chase your dreams, whatever you really want to become, even if it scares you in some kind of way. Like something I've thought about, like I've had powerful visions in 2021 that I would become a famous poet, whereas now I'm actually chasing that dream. I didn't want to for a while because, well, I thought it would be stressful, and I thought, like maybe I'd just rather be doing something else. But now I realized I want to become a poet, like a famous poet, not just for the sake of being famous, but like I love writing poetry, and I want to do something with my life. I want to get off disability and help other people, and just live my best life. So yeah, it's all possible through your own magic and through developing a relationship with God. You may even get like a powerful psychic vision or something about that, saying that this is going to happen to you. Yeah, it's just all good stuff. I'm just so excited for the future. I really am. So just know that all good things are possible. Healing. Oh yeah, but if chasing your dream stresses you out because you think like, oh, but then I'm going to have to worry about like financial things, and if it's something that requires you to be famous, then what if like all these people are going to bother me, and what if someone hacks my account? That's something I thought of. Just know that like you're gonna you can reach a state where you're gonna be happy doing your life's purpose and your dreams and all that, where you'll be thoroughly enjoyed doing these things. It's all good stuff. Like, you just really have to know it and develop that relationship with God and just do those actions, because things will change. And it'll get easier in time, because that's something else to know is time is such an important thing. Do it when it's the right time. Don't force yourself into anything that you don't want to do right away. But know that in time, the more you do this with consistency, another important thing, it'll get easier and you'll be more convinced that God is helping you and good things are coming. You'll just know it. It'll just be as obvious as the sun on a summer day at 12 p.m. You'll just know it. So, yeah. Anything else? I don't think I have anything else to say. I think I covered everything. Yeah, schizophrenics are magical. You're experiencing the magic, and you might kind of feel like it's overwhelming because you have so much magic going through you. But you can reach a state where you can just like manhandle this magical power and use it for your own benefit and for the benefit of others. It's all good stuff. Okay, so I'm going to end it. Peace.